We're going to move on to kind of the biggest news in media this past week, and that is the selling of Warner Brothers Discovery from the demon, David Zaslav, to what is now...
From one demon to another demon, honestly.
Exactly, absolutely. Well, anytime there's a big merger and acquisition in any kind of entertainment industry, it leads to just job loss and consolidation and propaganda. And nothing that happens from this is going to be good, but it has already been a saga here. So just to kind of keep you guys updated, Warner Brothers Discovery has been up for sale for a while. I think that was Zaslav's entire goal with Warner Brothers Discovery, was to basically raise the value up and then eventually sell it off for shareholders and whatnot. For a long time, Paramount had the highest bid. And obviously, if you're not familiar, Paramount is owned by David Ellison right now. They absolutely did. Yeah. Larry Ellison and David Ellison have big ins in the Trump cabinet and administration as well. So, with Trump kind of owning all the regulatory bodies, it was kind of seeming like it was a lock that Paramount was going to get it until last minute. Netflix swooped in with an $82.7 billion purchase, and that won the highest bid there. Now, not all of Warner Brothers Discovery, but basically Warner Brothers Studios is essentially what it would hold, with the broadcast and TV stuff having to be sold in its own way later. Since then, we've now heard that Paramount is trying to do a hostile takeover of the entirety of Warner Brothers Discovery, with David Ellison now offering, I think it's like $108 billion, all cash.
Yeah, 108.
But that includes the broadcast and everything like that as well. So there's a lot to discuss here, and this isn't even all of it, but I do want to get y'all's temperature on this. I know, Rob, you were talking about, you had some thoughts on this and some takes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's all the stuff you started with. I mean, I think we all feel, and I agree with, consolidating companies and businesses of this size in an industry this big is bad, because only the richest people get richer. And like you said, job loss, probably the biggest actual negative. Like when you talk about practical real world implications, it's bad, but it's also bad for the industry, and it's bad for the art. And I think it's also bad for the consumer, which is us and big movie people, film people and TV people. A lot of, it reminds me of, and I'd love to hear your guys' take on this, back when the Disney and Fox thing was happening, it really frustrated me in the sense that a lot of people are like, this is great because the MCU will get the X-Men.
Right.
And I'm like, look.
Very narrow view of what's going on here.
It's like, sure, that's neat and all, like, great. But what about all the other actual real world negative implications and why that's bad for all of the important reasons? Like, will I enjoy seeing... I actually didn't like Deadpool and Wolverine as a movie, but did I enjoy being able to seeing Hugh Jackman come back as Wolverine in a MCU adjacent story? Yes, conceptually I liked it. The movie disappointed me, but that's sure. But was that worth it, in my opinion?
Yeah, it's jangling keys in front of you to distract you from the giant consolidation of media and antitrust.
100%, 100%. And the comparison I'm making, I won't drag it on too long, is people saying, "Oh, well, what's going to happen with HBO Max and Netflix?" And I'm like, I don't care,
right?
Because I care about people not losing their jobs, and I sure as heck do not want this to impact the theatrical experience and the theatrical industry and the physical media industry. I'm still buying my Blu-rays and 4Ks. I really care about that stuff. I've got Regal Unlimited, and I'm going to several movies a month, and I'm buying my popcorn, and I'm supporting that industry because I love it. And this does obviously have potential ramifications in that realm as well.
Yeah.
I don't know that Netflix is going to be all about, they're making the promises that we would keep the theatrical business in play. I don't know that I believe them. Ted Sarandos is the Netflix CEO that I don't like, because his views are very narrow, in my opinion. So, and then, like, on top of that, if they would try to kill Warner's theatrical business model, or the window of theatrical to streaming,
right?
I don't see why they would support making physical media copies of Warner Brothers branded movies as well. So I'll let you guys take it from there, because I could go forever, but that's like my initial thoughts about the whole thing. Yeah.
I think the most optimistic take of this is that Netflix is trying to acquire Warner Brothers to have a stronger hand in the cinematic sphere.
That's about as charitable as you could get of a description of the situation. Yeah.
So, like, instead of Frankenstein being a Netflix movie, it could be a Warner Brothers movie, and then they have like a longer theatrical release. However, I think it's more likely that they would eliminate the time from theater to streaming. And I think the only way that really changes is if the Academy changes the rules on what qualifies for Oscars, because really that's the only reason Netflix even puts movies in the theaters in the first place, is so that they can qualify for Oscars, so they can say their streaming service is winning Oscars. And if you change those rules, I feel like they would be forced to kind of maneuver that. But I think it's also more interesting to talk about too, though, like the Warner Brothers games sphere is, we got like the Batman Arkham games and the multiverses, and some of the Warner Brothers games don't know exactly what to do, but I mean, there's a ton of potential video game properties that they could go with. And
isn't Mortal Kombat kind of a part? Am I getting this right? That there's some sort of, I thought so, right? Yeah.
And Netflix historically has been pretty bad at making video games or blowing them up. And even they have their own video game section of Netflix, which could be kind of cool. Like they're trying to compete with Game Pass or something. I don't know,
I downloaded Grand Theft Auto San Andreas on this AYN Thor the other day from the Netflix store. So
wait,
but then I downloaded it
via Netflix?
Yeah. Netflix is letting me have San Andreas for free. But then when I download it, it's like, you only have 6 days to play it, and then it goes away forever. And I'm just like, all right, I'm over this. Yeah. That's what you have to look forward to if Netflix is running Warner Brothers games.
Look, I will, whichever company wants to, I will support any company that will put Batman Arkham Origins on modern consoles.
Okay, the monkey paw is curling, my guy. Be careful what you say.
This really sucks. I'm just seeing everything. Notice how, like you said, after every acquisition, bad things happen.
Yeah.
I don't even follow the movie. I follow the movie industry a lot, but it's just I pay more close attention to what happens in the game industry. Look at Xbox, how many companies they've acquired. How many just huge purchases of Bethesda.
Yep.
They just bought Activision recently. Nothing good has come from that at all.
No.
So it's just I don't like hearing this, especially when Ted Sarandos says there's no reason to believe that the movie itself is better in any size of screen for all people. My son's an editor. He watched Lawrence of Arabia on his phone.
Over 500 TikTok shorts.
Yes.
Yeah. No, it's not great. I mean, and I think, I don't think that we would see, I see no reason to see that we would have any change of heart from Ted Sarandos, as you said. I think for them, it is all about acquiring IP and content and bolstering their platform. So I don't love that. But then on the other side, I don't want Paramount to get this either, because they also are we just only want to do IP and have no artistry. All the great run that Warner Brothers has had this last year with Pamela Abdi and the producers they have over there on the film side of things at Warner Brothers. Yeah. They were about to be let go until Minecraft was a huge hit, and then it was Sinners, Weapons, One Battle After Another, all these critical darlings. And so I think if Paramount takes
and financial successes too, they had those,
absolutely.
All of them. Yeah, One Battle After Another is debatable in terms of budget, but for
it at least has cultural capital. If
absolutely,
not, you know what I mean? It's going to be
nominated for a ton of awards.
Yes, exactly. It is their Oscar baby, right? And I think there have been reports coming out that Netflix also tried to make deals on Disney and Fox and all these other ones as well. Yeah, that's just coming out with now that a lot of this is going to arbitration or whatever. I think we're going to be seeing a lot more dirty laundry, like we saw with the Apple and Epic suit. We saw all this crazy shit come up when they were in courts and when the FTC was looking.
Well, remember when the Microsoft and Activision thing was happening? Who's the ghoul from Activision? I'm brain farting.
Bobby Kotick. Yeah.
Bobby Kotick. Yeah, there were emails between him and Phil Spencer that was it leaked the Switch 2 or something.
Yeah,
Didn't
totally.
Something happen there?
Yeah, that did totally happen. Yeah, it's a nightmare, and it's they're all demons. All these capitalism demons are really. It's everything has become just consolidate, grow big, make money for investor. It's it's really, really dark times, right? And so and I want to say that this is just such blatant monopolization of the market, whoever buys Warner Brothers, that it would be shot down. But again, like I said, Trump runs all the regulatory agencies right now, right? So I think that and he is a very hands-on president when it comes to regulatory
And
agencies.
very
Usually,
pro-capitalism, as we know.
Yes, and he loves a good deal, right? So it's
Yeah.
like, I think
Good.
that we're going to be seeing this drag on for a while, but they're going to want to wrap it up sooner rather than later. So this can go to the Ellisons eventually would be my take on this. Do you have something you wanted to add, Jordan?
I just I was looking into the subscriber counts of all of these services, and Netflix is by far number one. It's like 300 million or over 300 million subscribers. The number two biggest streaming subscriber service is Amazon Prime, which is weird. It's like 240 or something around those numbers, but it's weird because that's not even really a video service ostensibly. It's like attached to
Right.
your Amazon account. So like, I don't think that even really counts in a weird way.
They'd sure
And
love to count it.
Yeah, sure. And the third one is HBO Max. So like if that joined with Netflix, it would be just bolster their lead. And then Paramount is, I want to say, around like 70 million, 75 million subscribers,
That's still
which is
a lot.
way more
Yeah,
than
yeah.
I ever gave Paramount Plus credit for,
Right.
first of all. But I'm like, okay, well, so if you combined HBO Max and Paramount Plus subscribers into one, it still would be like half of what Netflix subscriptions are, which is just mind-boggling.
Right.
But it's just like, that's why I'm like, well, maybe this deal actually won't go through with Netflix, but regardless, it's going to tie everything up in red tape, and their real competitor, which is HBO Max, is going to be kind of their hands tied behind their back this whole time while it's an arbitration and they try to figure out all of this. Like, I feel like it's going to delay the approval of projects and green lights. So like Netflix is going to get ahead either way because HBO Max is maybe not going to be making as much content while they wait to figure out what's going to happen with this deal.
Either way, it's a real shit show. You
Yes.
can't really put it any other way.
No, nothing good.
I hate
Ever
it.
come
I
of
hate
this.
all of it. It does seem like the hostile takeover group that is being formed does include Jared Kushner and the Saudis, very much as it did with the buyout of EA, which we have discussed. That's another one that's still going to be in regulatory agencies for a while now. And it was revealed that the Saudi Arabia's PIF is going to be owning 93.4% of EA if that does go through. So I would imagine it's pretty similar. A lot of the money that Paramount is scrounging up in order to do this buyout right now. Apparently, they say it's all from the Ellisons, but I imagine a lot of that is from banks and whatnot lending stuff out, and also from foreign governments. So it's just a real crazy time right now. This is going to be like, let's just get real. This is the start of this news story. You know what I mean? Like already since this news story started, there have been like 4 updates. So it's like, I imagine this is going to be a years long endeavor, and we're going to keep updating you guys as this goes on this story.
Right.
And we could probably do a whole freaking episode on this, and especially how it pertains to games, because that is going to be what's going to affect most of the listeners of the show. But I think let's put a cork in it for right now. We could talk about this all episode, but we got to move on.